Hey everyone, welcome back to Chateau Walls, your one-stop destination for all the gossip, stories, and behind-the-scenes tea from your favorite French chateau YouTubers. And today, I have a story that blends fine dining, YouTube fame, and a touch of that classic chateau chaos. Because yes, folks, Dan the gardener and Château Diaries' Stephanie Jarvis have been spotted indulging in something we rarely associate with renovation vlogs, a Michelin-rated restaurant experience. This isn't just dinner. It's a snapshot of how far this Chateau YouTube world has come. From dusty attics and plaster dust to Michelin stars and truffle foam, let's dive into the story behind this unexpected culinary adventure. Scene setter, the world of Chateau YouTube. If you're new here, let me give you a little backstory. Chateau YouTube is its own little corner of the internet. Picture this: ambitious dreamers and eccentric personalities buying centuries-old French chateaux, often for less than the price of a suburban home, and then filming every step of the process as they try to restore them. It's a world filled with peeling wallpaper, grand ballrooms, a lot of tea parties, and Patreon supporters funding the journey. Two names dominate this niche: Stephanie Jarvis, the leading lady of the Château Diaries, and Dan, affectionately known as Dan the gardener. Stephanie's channel started as a way to chronicle the renovation of her own chateau, Château de Lalande. She's glamorous, bubbly, and somehow always manages to make a leaking roof feel like an adventure. Dan started out as a landscaper and gardener working on Lalande's grounds, but he quickly became a breakout personality in his own right. Fast forward a few years, and both have transformed from obscure renovators to full-time YouTubers with global fan bases. Stephanie's channel has grown into a sprawling media brand. Her Patreon page is one of the highest-earning creator pages out there. Dan, meanwhile, has gone from background gardener to front-and-center personality, with his own channel, Escape to Rural France, where he's restoring his own place. The two of them together represent the perfect yin-yang of Chateau YouTube. Stephanie brings the glamour. Dan brings the grit. She's always ready for a dinner party. He's always got a drill in hand, from dusty floors to Michelin stars, which is why their latest outing, a trip to a Michelin-rated restaurant, feels like such a fascinating full-circle moment. For longtime viewers, the early days of the Château Diaries were very DIY. Meals were often thrown together in a kitchen that looked more like a set from a British period drama than a professional cooking space. Dan was usually seen digging trenches, building terraces, or repairing ancient stonework. The idea of either of them sitting down at a Michelin restaurant would have felt like a fantasy, but that's the magic of this niche. Over the past few years, their channels have grown, their audience has exploded, and the chateau world has evolved from a passion project into a full-blown media empire. Fans love the juxtaposition. One day they're knee-deep in plaster dust, the next they're sipping wine recommended by a sommelier who probably has a master's degree in grape science. This particular dinner has become a talking point because of what it represents. In the Chateau YouTube universe, there's always been this tension between authentic renovation life and the curated, sometimes glamorous image that creators present online. Seeing Dan and Stephanie in a Michelin-rated restaurant is a peek into the reality of their lives outside of YouTube editing rooms and Patreon perks. Who are Dan and Stephanie now? Let's pause and unpack their stories a little more, because understanding how they've gotten here adds so much depth to this moment. Stephanie, the Queen of Lalande, Stephanie Jarvis has built her brand around escapism. The Chateau Diaries isn't just a renovation vlog, it's a lifestyle channel. Viewers tune in not just to see paint dry, but to live vicariously through Stephanie's adventures, whether she's hosting elaborate dinner parties, traveling Europe, or shopping for antiques. Over the years, she's turned Château Lalande into something of a character in its own right. She's been a polarizing figure at times, with some viewers accusing her of prioritizing aesthetics over actual renovations. But there's no denying she's a content queen. Her videos are polished, uplifting, and aspirational, like stepping into a fairy tale world. So seeing her at a Michelin restaurant isn't shocking, she fits right in. She was always destined to thrive in glamorous settings. Dan, the people's gardener, Dan, on the other hand, is the everyman of Chateau YouTube. He started out as the gardener for Lalande, but his dry humor, straightforward style, and genuine skill with restoration made him a fan favorite. When he launched his own channel, viewers flocked to watch him transform a crumbling farmhouse into a family home. Dan's content is grittier and more hands-on than Stephanie's. There's a lot less antique shopping and a lot more drilling through centuries-old beams. He's relatable. You can imagine having a beer with him after a long day of work. That's why seeing him at a Michelin restaurant feels like a glow-up moment. Fans who've watched him toil away in work boots now get to see him living it up, and honestly, it's well-deserved. The Michelin experience, more than just dinner. So, what makes this dinner so noteworthy? First of all, let's clarify, a Michelin rating is not just any restaurant review. The Michelin Guide is the culinary world's gold standard. A star, or even just being listed, can change a restaurant's entire reputation. To dine at a Michelin-rated spot is to experience food as an art form, where every dish is meticulously crafted. Every flavor has a backstory, and even the plate presentation feels like something you'd see in a gallery. For Dan and Stephanie, this wasn't just dinner, it was an event. And fans ate it up, pun intended. The contrast between their YouTube personas and this dining experience makes for great content. Dan, who's usually covered in sawdust, is now delicately tasting a foie gras mousse. Stephanie, who's often portrayed as a bohemian fairy godmother of Lalande, is perfectly at home here, savoring every sip of wine paired by an expert sommelier. What's fascinating is how this moment reflects the success of the Chateau YouTube scene as a whole. When creators like Stephanie and Dan started their channels, they were documenting survival projects, keeping crumbling buildings from literally collapsing. Now, years later, they've built profitable businesses around their stories. Patreon, sponsorships, merchandise, and ad revenue have transformed these creators' lives. A Michelin dinner isn't just a splurge, it's a symbol of how far they've come. Audience reactions, cheers and critiques, of course, no moment in this community exists without a little drama. The Chateau niche has one of the most passionate, and sometimes critical, fan bases on YouTube. Some fans saw this dinner as a celebration of well-earned success. They work so hard, they deserve to treat themselves, one commenter wrote. Others loved seeing their favorite creators in a new light, calling it refreshing to see Dan looking sharp and Stephanie embracing full-on foodie culture, but there were also whispers of criticism. Some viewers pointed out that while the chateaux often remain works in progress, the creators' lives are increasingly luxurious. It's a reminder that YouTube's success changes people's circumstances, and for some fans, that shift can feel jarring. Still, most viewers understand that this is the natural progression of any creator's journey. People tune in for escapism, after all, and there's nothing more escapist than a perfectly plated Michelin-starred meal. Why this moment matters. So why am I making a whole video about one dinner? Because moments like this tell us so much about where Chateau YouTube is heading. It's no longer just about restoration projects and Patreon updates, it's a lifestyle brand. Stephanie and Dan are no longer just creators, they're influencers, travel personalities, and entrepreneurs. This dinner symbolizes the way their content has evolved. It's about aspiration now as much as it is about renovation. And that's not a bad thing. If anything, it shows that these creators are living the dream they once sold to their viewers. For Stephanie, this is another step in her carefully curated image as the glamorous lady of the chateau. For Dan, it's a sign that his hard work and authenticity are paying off. Together, they represent the duality of the chateau niche, grit and glamour, hard work and high society. The business behind the plate. Let's not forget, outings like this aren't just fun, they're also content opportunities. A Michelin-rated dinner makes for compelling vlog material. Viewers love seeing their favorite creators in unexpected situations, and it's a great way to diversify content. From a branding perspective, this kind of content elevates their image. It signals success and sophistication. For Stephanie, who has cultivated a brand built around French elegance, this aligns perfectly. For Dan, it's a chance to show another side of himself, one that fans might not expect but will definitely enjoy. And let's be honest, YouTube is competitive. Standing out often means blending your niche with something new. A Chateau channel featuring Michelin-rated food? That's a recipe for viral content, a glimpse of the future. This dinner also hints at where this niche might go next. Could we see more travel content from Dan and Stephanie? Maybe a series where Chateau creators explore France's finest culinary destinations? The possibilities are endless. One of the reasons the Chateau niche has stayed so popular is because it's flexible. These creators can film renovati